Welcome to Ponytails and PepTalks, the podcast where blowouts, breakdowns, and breakthroughs are a weekly discussion. I'm your host, Regina. For over 3 decades, I've been behind the salon chair as a stylist, an owner, and yes, your favorite unlicensed therapist. I have heard it all. The tears, the triumphs, the you won't believe what just happened stories from courageous women overcoming incredible obstacles. So let's meet one of them right now on Ponytails and PepTalks. Hi everyone, welcome back to Ponytails and Pep Talks with Regina. Today is another episode of Faith and Wellness with Dr. E. Dr. Elisa McClure is a traditional naturopath, an aromatherapist, my dear friend, and founder of the Wellness Hub in Boerne, Texas. Welcome back, Dr. E.
Oh, I'm so glad to be here. Thanks for having me again.
I'm excited about you being here. Today, we're going to be discussing about how to stay grounded, nourished, and full of light through the holidays. Dr. E, the holidays are magical, no doubt. However, they also can be exhausting, lonely, and triggering as we juggle family, grief, finances, mental, and physical health. You wrote about winter calling us back to traditional grounding foods. What do you think that means to us? Why do you think that's important?
Well, the dinner table or this time of year, we get together so often and we're traveling to people's houses and doing things, inviting people to our houses. And it's great to just go back to some of those very old traditional ways of those big one pot meals that can feed a lot of
Mm,
people, no matter who shows up, with hearty broths and meats and lots of vegetables. You know, root vegetables, when you eat seasonally, are just the best thing that you can do when you're in this winter season because they're so nourishing and they fill you up. You always feel so good. And the smell of something cooking on the
ah.
stove, there's no substitute for that when you walk into a home.
Absolutely. That reminds me of so many years of holidays with the smells in my grandmother's kitchen. There was always something on the stove cooking, whether it was getting ready for Thanksgiving, getting ready for Christmas. And each of those smells bring back just incredible memories that just jump to the front of our mind. I was studying, looking at the what the smells do on the brain and body. And what I discovered is that actually it's the most emotionally powerful sense that we have is the sense of smell. But I was wondering though, with so many synthetic smells and chemicals and things that are out there, can you tell me the difference between healthy, clean oils and smells that we have versus all the synthetic smells that are out there?
Yes, and that's very important this time of year because we're going again traveling in and out of people's homes or going shopping and going into stores that want everything to smell good. But when you
Hmm.
realize that there's one word that's a key word in all of that, which is fragrance. Fragrance is very toxic. So you might go out and you spent the day shopping and you come home and you've got a massive headache. Well, you probably got exposed to so many of those synthetic scents that are out there. But you know, as an aromatherapist, I know that we can do better than that, especially in our own home when we can use beeswax candles, which are so calming and they smell so good. And then keep a diffuser going in the house with something wonderful. Like tonight, I'm diffusing frankincense, which
Ah.
is such a great scent for the season.
It is. And I know that I am one of those people that I can't go into those candle shops with the overpowering smells because within moments I get a headache. And I'm sure that's because I know about the natural oils and different things. And so I know what that feels like in our body. I know that my body can't handle the synthetic version. It doesn't know what to do with that. And if other people realize that also, they would do just like you said, go back to the beeswax candles and the natural oils. I have a selection of my Young Living oils up here today, which I use absolutely daily. And I can't handle the smells of other things now. And I know it's my body letting me know this other stuff is not healthy for you.
I do the same thing with, I have my diffusers going, and when I smell something that is artificial, it's like my nose just burns, and I know something's in here. I'm out. I got to get out. I don't like it.
Absolutely. Same thing for me. So let's go back to just our roots of the things that we grew up, the rhythm of things that we did when we were younger, when our families didn't necessarily, even though we have traditions, we didn't necessarily know of all these natural things and the natural smells. What do you do differently with your family now that did not happen as a child growing up?
Well, definitely there's the focus on the food. I come from a large Italian family, so we always
Mhm.
had homemade food. So ingredients and maybe recipes that weren't very good were just very simple hand-me-down recipes. We didn't even have many things written down. It was just you stood by your grandmother's side and you learned how to cook, how to do these things, and they made everything from scratch. So now in the environment, it is making sure that there are no artificial fragrances and things that interfere with your brain, actually, because that goes right into the limbic system. So it's just continuing those traditions. I was really fortunate to have such a wonderful
Mm.
family growing up in a big long dining table. I mean, typical Italian. So we had that good, but just the natural scent of a Christmas tree. I think now we have so many artificial things, but we used to have the Christmas tree, of course, which the pine smell is amazing. Um, so we try to do a lot of the old fashioned things,
We
which
do
make
too. I grew up around pine trees in East Texas my whole life, so that was a very natural scent for me growing up. I can't say that it's one of my more favorite scents nowadays here. What are your favorite oils to diffuse for the winter time, for the fall time?
Well, again, the scent of frankincense, especially for this season, but also thieves. If you're familiar with thieves, it's a blend of cinnamon and clove and lemon, and it just smells so good. Uh, the peppermint is a really refreshing scent, especially if you're getting tired and you want something that's a pick me up. We use peppermint. But of course, you can't go wrong with the scent of Christmas spirit because it's just really blended for this season, and it has some great immune properties too, where it helps you just keep your respiratory system clear because of the different therapeutic oils that are in that blend. So I love Christmas spirit.
I do too. And I definitely use that during the holidays because it does have that wonderful cinnamon smell to it. And I'm not even sure what else is in there, but it definitely smells like Christmas.
It
Whenever I
smells like
diffuse it, it does. It smells like Christmas.
yeah.
So let's talk about the other side of Christmas. All these exciting things and these wonderful things and these wonderful smells. But at the same time, people have children that are now home for the holidays. There are some people that are missing loved ones that have passed away or are sick or not doing well. Finances become tough during Christmas time, trying to buy all these gifts and, in different things. What are some habits and things that we should be doing daily that will help, just ease some of this tension and the stuff that goes on during the holidays?
Well, when we want to get into that atmosphere of just trying to do it all and getting so stressed out and feeling tired, the list is longer than we have time for, is just to take a step back. Take
Hmm.
a moment when you're out and about and doing things to just relax. If you have a beautiful scent of an essential oil with you, for instance, you can just, breathe it in, and it helps to really calm the central nervous system down so that you're able to focus on what's important. If you didn't get the perfect gift, or you're trying to have this big list and buying, well, sometimes it's the little handmade gift, or something that a food item that you've made that you could bring to someone else's house that just means more than a fancy gift sometimes. So I think if we step back, again, think of those traditions when we didn't have so many things to choose from, that we keep it simpler and just enjoy it and be present in the moment instead of thinking about the future, or maybe perfectionism. Like, nobody's perfect. It's just going to be beautiful, because what people want to see is friends, family, and ourselves, and enjoy those moments together.
Absolutely. And I think as I get older, plus being a crafty person and I love to make things for people, I definitely appreciate it when people make things for me. And the older you get, I think even more that you appreciate that. And I also believe that since I do love the essential oils and different things like that also myself, and I love bath time. That is my relaxed time. That is my shut the world out in the evenings, almost every evening. I get into my garden tub. I put in my salts that I've added essential oils to. And I just close my mind off and try to get rid of the day so that I can rest and go to sleep for the evening. Are there traditions or just daily things and affirmations like that that you would suggest for people to do to let go kind of some of this holiday stress?
Well, again, just creating something at night, like you said, you've got this wind down routine, which is great. But maybe a cup of tea, just to sit with the family after dinner and just be calm. Watch a fun old Christmas movie. Do something that isn't crazy, or just wrapping presents till midnight or something. Have a cup of tea, maybe a warm cider, which is great for this time of year. Mulled wine is another one that kind of calms us down uh,
Hmm.
a little bit, not too much, right? But
Not too much.
and then just set the tone, because setting the tone makes a big difference. Even though it may not be in Texas where we are super cold outside, but we can
Yeah.
still have that feeling of Christmas and fall, and get that cozy blanket and just relax. Just enjoy the moments again of not doing anything in particular, really. Just being together and being present, I think, makes a world of difference to everyone.
I think it does. I love the phrase that you used, and I'm quite sure I'm going to use it more and more again, is the little packets of stillness. And
Yeah.
that's what you're talking about. And if people would think about in the evenings, what is my little packet of stillness today that I'm doing just to nourish my soul? I actually had a quite stressful day today. There were things that just weren't quite working out and going along, and I literally finally had to just stop at some point today and close my eyes for a few minutes, take some deep breaths. I was diffusing actually lavender today because lavender is calming and stillness. And I really literally had to stop myself and breathe today and remember that it's okay. Be quiet, be calm. And it really helped me to refresh, to refocus, and get ready for my afternoon. I
Yeah.
know that one of the other good things is some affirmations. What are good affirmations that you use on a daily basis?
Well, one of the things I say every morning before I leave the house, when I get into my morning routine, that is just a short prayer up to God to say, every moment of every day, in every way, I stay connected to you throughout the day. And sometimes I even add with every cell of my body. See, I want it to be so
Mm,
that no matter what you face during the day, whether it's a day like you might have had that's a little bit stressful and you just, what's going on? To that peaceful packet of time where you can come right back into that mood and just
hmm
face what's coming next, you know, and that's how I do it.
I think that's what I was kind of doing today also. It was like, okay, this went wrong today. This is going. I am uh how if I just take a breath, this is going to work out. And literally it really did. The timing ended up working out for other people, other places, other things, and I was able to once I regrouped myself is what I'll call it, is when things just did start just working out the way they should. And I appreciated that. Let's talk about the spiritual side of December. I love that in Young Living, first of all, there's all 12 different oils of the Bible. But you wrote that winter teaches us that light shines brightest when the world around us goes dim. And that's such a powerful truth. But tell us what you mean by that.
Well, when you have that, um, you know, one of the things that I talk about all the time is integrating our body, mind, and spirit.
Hmm.
So when we do that, we can center ourselves again, like you did for yourself today. And it only takes a few seconds, but things around us, we can't control that. What happens? So
That's right.
when we're stronger in what we do, then we can be that calm light that goes out and helps other people, but also helps ourselves and our families. So that is one of the most important things, especially when we get into these busy times of year. So you can spiritually get together with people to just go for a walk,
Hmm.
do something that builds us up, you know, because during this time we might have digestive issues and emotional fatigue and
Yeah.
sleep issues that we all struggle with. But again, stepping back, taking that moment, even less than a minute, I know, Regina, you can feel the difference. But also making sure we stay well hydrated in this time of year too, because a our electrolytes we're an electrical being, and our electrolytes
Hmm.
keep us strong. So just like if your light bulb was dim, when you're nourished that way spiritually and also in your body, you're going to have a lot more energy to be able to do the things you need to do.
I think so too. And a lot of that is it is just refocusing on the things that are in our within our control and
Yes.
letting go of the things that are not within our control. And that's what had to happen with me today. So
Yeah.
perfect example for me today. And I am pleased to say that I was able to refocus. I got my oils. Got that going today. Now, December also brings, first of all, since we are overran, overworked, overtired, that really just kills our immune system. And we're Texas, so we're hot one moment, we're 30 degrees the next day, 75 the next day, and our immune system has a hard time keeping up. What do you suggest that we use for this time of season for that?
Well, again, using the making sure we're well hydrated,
Hmm.
having those healing drinks, which might be a cup of tea, as I mentioned, herbal teas, not caffeine
Yeah.
all the time. And when we reach for that, of course, making sure that we eat well is a big deal, because we can skip a lot of meals and then just go grab some caffeine or something, or a latte or something with a lot of sugar in it. And that's going to depress the immune system even more, because sugar,
Right.
and we're in sugar season now,
Yes, we are.
there's things to eat everywhere that it really depresses the immune system. So making sure that we've got some good food coming into us, and our home is more of a sanctuary when we get to home, you know,
Mm.
that so we're
Oh,
not
yeah.
coming into um, just chaos all the time, because that stress level also depresses our immune system. So the more we can stay calm and, as you say, and I say, do those little moments, the more we're going to be able to get through this season, even if we eat some of those really tasty goodies, which of course we all want to do, without getting ill during this time period.
Absolutely. I actually did a little brief thing on Facebook or TikTok the other day, and actually said too, you know, for some reason we decide in the beginning of December, I'm going to lose some weight. And I don't know why we do that. I don't know why we set ourselves up for failure most of the time. But I decided this year to take a little different approach and just say, you know what? I may gain 5 or 6 pounds this season and know that it could happen. And I'm wondering if it would kind of trick my brain into not having the stress. If I just take the stress off, will that help me during the season? Is there also a particular oil, one or two, that when these sugar cravings come and I'm wanting to eat more than I should, are there specific oils that I could smell that would help take away those cravings?
Well, I think that yes, there are things like simple ones like peppermint or spearmint in particular. When you smell that, you kind of wake up a little bit. Anytime you want to, or you have this craving that you just can't get rid of,
Mm-hmm.
either take a glass of water and drink some water, smell some peppermint, spearmint, and just wait, and maybe it'll pass. Also, having a little bit of dark chocolate helps too because it has some great benefits to just calming down and getting rid of that craving that starts happening. Because a lot of cravings are we're mineral deficient. We're not
Yeah.
nourished enough, so we have to grab something quickly. Or our adrenals are getting exhausted, so we want a sweet and salty snack. So, you know, just kind of take it easy. And December is not the time to start a program. It's a time to enjoy the holidays, and then
It it
we
really
can
is.
talk
And
in the second week of January. We'll be talking again to say, oh well, now what do we do?
exactly. Now, how do we get rid of those few pounds that we
Yes,
put on during the holidays? I definitely read something that, says that a lot of times whenever we think we're hungry, but we've had food for the day,
yeah,
that a lot of times it's really because we are thirsty and we
yes.
are missing those minerals and we're missing those things. So if we could remember to grab 8 ounces of water first, or before we, dive into the sweets and the goodies, and of course, knowing that milk chocolate, things that are full of sugar, just makes our body crave it more. So I
Yeah.
like the idea of you saying, take the dark chocolate, because I know I'm not a dark chocolate girl. And so I can have a little bit of dark chocolate and go, yeah, not what I wanted. So, and I can move on. What are some daily habits? Because I love that you have daily habits that end up working into routines in our lives of always. What is a daily habit from the time we get up until we go to bed at night that's going to help make us better and healthier during December?
Well, one of the things I say all the time is practice wellness daily, and it
Yes.
soon becomes a lifestyle so that these things are normal for you in your everyday life. So, to me, the number one thing every day is getting enough really good water with
Mm-hmm.
in it, whether it's electrolytes that you like to use or a pinch of salt, something like that, to nourish our bodies because we can uh, feel so much better and have a lot of energy just with that. And it doesn't mean you have to
Right.
buckets of water every single day, but keep it going throughout the day. Again, warm teas, bone broth is a fantastic one to add this time of year with
Mm.
a little hot cup of bone broth that isn't like
Mm-hmm.
getting in the kitchen to cook, but making sure that you eat something like that, which really deeply nourishes the body to be able to handle everything. Um,
Is there a particular brand of beef broth or different things that you like that maybe taste better than other ones, or
yeah,
just put it
oh,
in some warm water and drink it?
yeah. To me, the brodo is a really good um, uh, broth to be drinking. It's meant for
Okay.
dipping, which makes the flavor a little bit different than just something you would use for cooking, right? So Brodo
Okay.
is a very good brand. Also, just getting up away from your computer or your job or whatever it is, and just going out in the air for a walk. It doesn't have to be 40 minutes. It can be 10 minutes down the block and back,
Yeah.
to energize your body again and uh, bring in oxygen to the system. So these aren't things
Mm-hmm.
that cost a lot. That going for a walk or drinking some water doesn't
It's
cost
free.
anything. It's all free. So as we add these things to routines, it can really make the difference over the course of a year if we just
Right.
start doing them on a daily basis and
I think
recognizing
so
the body's
too.
cues, like, why do I want
Okay.
that?
Mm-hmm.
Usually salty sweet things are because you're just getting tired. Your adrenals
Right.
are exhausted, so you want a bag of chips. That's what you want.
Yeah, absolutely. I want a bag of chips in this hand and a box of M&Ms in this hand.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that's what I want. And then I feel awful after I eat them and not
yeah,
happy with myself. So I'm not always grateful
exactly.
for that. What about the people that are just kind of lonely during the holidays? I mean, there are people that maybe this is their first holiday without their loved one. Maybe, as for me, not a lot of family around. I know I'm just going to go out of town because I'm not going to get to have the family around me that the traditions that I grew up with are not happening this year for several different reasons. What are good practices for people to do during then? And is there oils and things to diffuse that helps with that?
Yes, well, if you have a circle of friends that maybe you can get together and just have a lunch so that you're not
Hmm.
home all day long if you're not still working or getting out and about. Maybe there's church activities and other things that you might not feel like going to, but just sort of
Hmm.
say, I'm going to go out for an hour. Even if you go to the grocery store and you're just around, you might see somebody and strike up a
Yeah.
conversation so that isolation that we feel, um, you just need to break through it a little bit. And I think that that's why I love frankincense in this season, because it's such a beautiful thing. It's very good for the brain. So if there's something that's
Hmm.
bothering you, it tends to just level things out a little bit. If there's depression or you do feel lonely, uh, just
Right.
go for, again, the walk. Going outside makes a big difference. Even if it's a chilly day, around here, we just get our coats on, throw a scarf on, and get outside and do some walking. You might meet somebody along the way that you can talk to. So go to the library. There's so many things that you can do
Mm.
that isn't, I didn't get invited somewhere, or
Right.
uh, I don't have any friends. We may seemingly think that, but if someone comes to mind, then just reach out to them. Say, hey, what are you doing? You want to go have a cup of tea?
I agree. I think a lot of times there's a lot of us that wait around for someone else to make the
Yeah.
first move. And I truly would encourage people, you be the one that makes the first move. There may be someone else sitting in their home wishing someone would call them. So I definitely encourage everyone, be the one that makes the first call. I know my daughter and I have talked many times about going to work in a soup kitchen, going to work, help feeding the homeless, help your local place that takes food to people. And I think really you would see a different perspective also whenever you see that, you know what, you're not the only one lonely. You're not the only one that a lot of times you're going to see have even less than what you do. And I think your heart would be warm once you go and give of yourself. It's amazing how when you give of yourself, that you feel so much better about yourself. You feel so much more fulfilled. So I definitely would encourage people to get out and do that for the holidays also.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it doesn't take a whole lot. You just get out there and do something. And there's so many opportunities for that. And that's nourishing your spirit. You're nourishing your mind and your spirit. We talk about nourishing the body, but then that's carrying that light to where people need it. even if it's just a hello. Is, we see
Absolutely.
so many people and they just don't talk to each other, or people are just looking at their phones and they're not really aware of the people around them. So it just takes a lot of little things sewn together to accomplish some big things throughout your year. So as we wind down December, we still have a lot of activities to do, but it can be a very
Right.
reflective time to really think about what's important.
I think so too. And I think during the holiday season, more especially, patience is a huge thing you have to have. Everybody is out there combing over the best deal and getting to the store faster than anyone else. And we're all in a rush and we're all in a hurry. What are some of the oils that you would recommend just to breathe in, to calm us down and have a little more patience during the holidays?
Yeah, well, one of them is called Peace and Calming, and
Oh, perfectly named.
it really
Absolutely
works.
perfectly named.
Yes, Peace and Calming. It's a wonderful scent that people like. There's another one called Stress Away, which I actually keep in my car because you just never know. Uh,
I do too. That's one of my more favorite smells is the peace and
yeah,
calming one. Yeah.
lavender is a universal oil. You can use lavender for just about anything because it works to calm the body, the mind, but also the spirit because it's just such a lovely scent.
It is. And like you say, for whatever reason, lavender is definitely a multi-purpose oil. I've also used it for bee stings or bites or different things like that that have actually helped very quickly to calm those kind of things down also. I hope that, people that are listening, a lot of people have used essential oils. You and I both, of course, love the Young Living brand
Yeah.
and hope that people would use that just because the company's so amazing and the fact that they use the absolute most purest way and form of getting their oils out there to people. You can cook with them, you can taste them, you can safely use them. So we definitely advocate for that, but lavender is definitely one of those all around ones. I love that Young Living also has, I think we talked about earlier, the 12 different oils of the Bible. You've talked about frankincense already, and most people that know the story that the gifts that were brought to Jesus whenever
Mhm.
he was born, and is the frankincense and the myrrh, and so I hope people that will check more into that also. What other thoughts do you have for us? Just kind of ending the year. What do you think that we should be looking forward to for the holiday season? The oils that are going to keep us on track.
Yes. Well, the ones that we've already mentioned, I think, are part of
Hmm.
just the daily kind of thing, the universal things like lavender, lemon, and things that uplift us. Peppermint and spearmint are amazing. The oils of the Bible. I teach that class, so if anybody's
You
ever interested
do.
in that, it's a eye opening class about how they used the fragrances and the scents back in the ancient times and why they delivered those type of oils, frankincense and myrrh in particular, to Jesus and why they did that. Such a fantastic history. Uh, but just all of the, again, Regina, I guess I can't say it enough. It's just these little things add up. So
Hmm.
when we walk out our doors and we do the things we need to do, that we always have that that sense of spirit, which is the Christmas spirit that we just carry with us. So um, it's beautiful when we use that, and of course, just when we're with all the people that we end up with, that we're ready. We have our spirits centered uh,
Right.
for this holiday season.
I think so too, and I think that there's a lot of beliefs out there, all kinds of beliefs. Not everyone has the same beliefs that we do, but the
That's right.
interesting thing is the practices are still the same. Be kind to others, nourish yourself, eat well. It's still universal and how you take care of yourself and see the season. And any of these things just help keep us aligned and well, eating well, drinking well, being kind to others, showing compassion, showing love. Do you have any closing thoughts for us today?
Well, I wrote a little blessing for all the listeners today, so I'd like to read that
Okay.
if that's okay.
I
So,
would love that. Please do.
so I say, may your body be nourished, your mind be lightened, and your spirit be warmed. May peace and harmony
Mm.
rest over your home like candlelight on a winter's evening. And may God's wisdom guide your steps as you prepare your heart for the new year.
Ah, amen, amen. That is so beautiful. And again, just universal, just
Yeah.
absolutely what each person needs deep in their heart. So, Dr. E, I so appreciate you coming back again. I can't wait to see what you have for us in January. So, everyone, thank you for joining Ponytails and Pep Talks with Regina today with Dr. E and her faith and wellness episodes. I wish you a very Merry Christmas and a grateful season for the rest of your year. Until next week, have a great evening.